December is a massive month for Game Pass, with 17 games releasing across console, PC, and streaming on Android. So let's not waste any time and we'll get stuck into everything coming out on Game Pass this month. Remedy Entertainment's highly acclaimed Control drops onto Game Pass on December 3rd. Garnering 84 on Metacritic, Control was one of the standout games from 2019 and highly acclaimed by critics. It even made it into my top 10 Game of the Year video, which I've linked below if you want to check it out. You play as Jesse Faden, exploring the oldest house, trying to solve the mystery of your brother's whereabouts, fighting against the mysterious Hiss. The game has incredible gameplay, lots of abilities, and an awesome shape-shifting weapon. Control has a surreal story with some incredible level design and some wild boss fights, and it is not to be missed. Control will be available on Xbox consoles and Android devices for game streaming when it hits Game Pass tomorrow. Just to be clear as well, it looks like this is the normal edition of Control. It's not the Ultimate Edition, which comes with all the DLC, and we'll be getting the updated version for Xbox Series X, I believe in early 2021, so keep that in mind. Rage 2, unfortunately, was a bit of a letdown, garnering itself 72 on Metacritic from Avalanche and id Software. In this open world shooter, you play as Walker, exploring the apocalyptic world filled with bright colors and insane enemies. It was a huge departure from the original Rage's brown and green color palette, and Rage tried to do something new but somewhat missed the mark, although the game does have some pretty impressive shooting mechanics created by id, the developers behind Doom. Check it out on xCloud tomorrow, December 3rd. Slime Rancher drops to Android and console tomorrow as well, with a Metacritic of 80 and first releasing back in 2017 from Minami Park. You play as Beatrix LeBeau in this colourful first-person adventure game. Explore the open world, feed, care for and grow your slimes, and adventure out into the lands equipped with your trusty vac pack. A critically acclaimed indie game, Slime Rancher joins Game Pass for console and streaming on December 3rd. Yes, Your Grace is a role-playing strategy game made by Brave at Night and No More Robots, and originally released back in March of this year. Getting itself 75 on Metacritic for PC, you play in this management sim where you try and manage your kingdom by making decisions that will affect those within your borders. People from within your kingdom will visit the royal court, and it's up to you to manage your resources and choose or choose not to help them, while also managing the kingdom's military as well. This is a slow-paced game that could be a nice relaxing break from some of the high-intensity games coming this summer. Launching day and date on December 3rd into Game Pass, Haven from the Game Bakers is an adventure game where you play as two lovers, Yu and Kay, stranded on an alien planet to which they escape to be together. The gameplay mostly consists of exploring and floating around this semi-open world with tactical real-time combat, decision-making, befriending of alien creatures, and a plot focused around the love of the two main characters. Haven can be played single-player or alongside a friend or lover when it releases on December 3rd for PC and console. You know this one, releasing in March this year with a Metacritic score of 88 from the legendary id Software, Doom Eternal is the sequel to the 2016 smash hit Doom. This title needs little explanation, except it's all about ripping and tearing. With wild weaponry, fast-paced and visceral combat, demons from hell tearing apart Earth, what more do you need? Doom Eternal is hitting Game Pass for PC on December 3rd. Valhalla, or VAR11 whole R, I don't know, is releasing onto PC Game Pass on December the 3rd. With a respectable Metacritic score of 77 and originally releasing June 2016, this little indie game from Superhot Games has a weird name but apparently some great gameplay. Valhalla is a cyberpunk bartending simulator with visual novel elements as you take control of the bartender at the titular bar, where you spend time mixing and serving your drinks to patrons and influencing the story just with your drink selection and concoctions. Seems cool, looks weird, and released on PS Vita, so give it a go on Game Pass for PC December the 3rd. Dragon Quest XI, I'm not even going to bother with the full name, is finally releasing for PC and Xbox consoles on December the 4th. With a Metacritic score of 91, we all know about Dragon Quest XI by now. Releasing to massive critical acclaim across every platform it's come to, this Square Enix RPG series has been around for decades, and the latest entry is a classic turn-based JRPG. There's nothing I need to say about Dragon Quest XI that you've probably never heard, so if you like JRPGs, I think this one is definitely for you. Launching day and date onto PC, Android, and console Game Pass on December the 8th, Call of the Sea is a stunning indie game from Out of the Blue Studios. I've spoken about this game at length on the channel before, and I'm very excited about it. You play as Nora, who has ventured out to a mysterious island in the South Pacific in search for her husband. Set in the 1930s and heavily inspired by H.P. Lovecraft, Call of the Sea is a first-person puzzle game with gorgeous visual design and a mysterious tale of self-discovery and adventure. Check this one out on its release day on December the 8th. Starbound will be releasing on PC Game Pass on December the 8th as well, originally releasing back in 2016. This indie title from Chucklefish Studios got itself 81 on Metacritic and is a procedurally generated 2D action-adventure game, where after the destruction of Earth, you leave aboard your spaceship to explore the universe. A sort of Terraria in space, this game consists of tons of elements including combat, terraforming, building, farming, and meeting extraterrestrial life forms. With so many gameplay elements, I could see myself getting lost in Starbound for a long, long time. Monster Sanctuary is another little game releasing day and date on the 8th of December for Game Pass for console and streaming. It initially released on Steam Early Access back in 2019 from Moray Games and Team 17. This 16-bit Pokemon-style Metroidvania lets you unravel the cause of a mystery that threatens the peace between humans and monsters with its gorgeous and lovely pixel art style, deep combat with each monster having its own skill tree, and includes online play. Monster Sanctuary looks like a lot of fun for Metroidvania and Pokemon fans alike. Unto the End is another game releasing day and date for PC and console Game Pass. From Two Ton Studios, who are just two people strong, developers Stephen Danton, an ex-Microsoft principal designer on projects like Office and Azure, and Sarah Kitamura, a talented artist and designer. Unto the End is a cinematic platformer where you're trying to fight through a wild land and get back to your family. The game is combat heavy with gorgeous style and animations, but you can avoid combat sometimes with items found across the world. And you have to try and find a way to communicate with the creatures of this desolate land without speech. You're shaping your character with your actions and decisions, and your items will impact later encounters. This little indie game, developed by just two people, looks quite incredible. Gang Beasts is releasing on December the 10th to Game Pass for console and streaming, and although it only has a Metacritic of 67%, this game that originally released back in 2019 from Bone Loaf is a hilarious multiplayer brawler with great physics from your gelatinous and rather floppy characters. Punch, kick, and push your opponents off ledges into hazards in this 4-player party game. Assetto Corsa releases on Game Pass for console and streaming as well on December the 10th, and after its initial launch in 2016 and a Metacritic score for console of only 63, although it does have a pretty highly regarded score on PC, this full-blown racing simulator made by Kuno Simulazioni features realistic physics, tire simulation, and laser scan tracks, including Laguna Seca, Spa, Nürburgring, and more. If you want a proper, full-on racing sim to try out, get it on December 10th on Game Pass. Superhot Mind Control Delete is another one coming on the 10th to Android and consoles. With a Metacritic of 82 and originally releasing just a few months back in July, the third installment in the Superhot franchise features more of its signature gameplay where time only moves when you do. With dance-like combat scenarios, more weapons, more levels, and a deeper story, Superhot Mind Control Delete is more of the incredibly popular puzzle shooter that you know and love. Another one coming December 10th, this is just getting out of hand, is Yooka-Laylee and the Impossible Lair, garnering itself a very respectable 84 on Metacritic when it released back in October 2019. This second outing from Playtonic is highly regarded. After releasing an ode to 3D platformers like Banjo-Kazooie back in 2017, the developers at this studio, mostly made up from ex-Rare employees, tried their hand at an ode to games like Donkey Kong Country, highly regarded for its platforming, world building, and music, composed by the absolute legends of the industry David Wise and Grant Kirkhope, who composed the scores for Donkey Kong Country and Banjo-Kazooie respectively, as well as many other classic Rare games from the 90s like Perfect Dark and GoldenEye. If you want a top quality 2D platformer with charm, Yooka-Laylee 2 is definitely for you. Finally, coming to PC, console, and game streaming via xCloud on December 10th is one of my favorite games from 2019, Greedfall. With a score of 78 on Metacritic, this RPG from Spiders was one of the most underrated games from 2019, and it was another one that made it into my top 10 games of the year list. Greedfall was a throwback to the old BioWare games like Mass Effect and Dragon Age, where you play as Desade, a noble from the merchant congregation, where you leave the shores of your former home to explore Tir-Fradee, a wild land full of opportunity. You have a squad of memorable characters, the main story is engrossing, and your decisions have weight in the world. The combat is mostly fun and fast-paced. There is so much incredibly well-developed lore in Greedfall. I can't recommend it enough to anyone who wants to enjoy a really good Western RPG, and if you're a fan of BioWare games, you'll love this. Greedfall releases December 10th into Game Pass as well. Well, that is quite the list, but let me know down below what you think of all the upcoming games coming to Game Pass this month. And this is only in the first 10 days. It is pretty impressive though, and some of these are absolute bangers if you haven't played them before, or you just want to get back into them, maybe on a different platform or playing them via streaming. This is definitely the month for you. There are just too many games right now. Let me know your favorites down below, and thank you so much for watching this video. I haven't done a list like this for a while, so let me know if you like this, and if you enjoy what I do over here on Direckt Gaming. I would love for you to like the video and subscribe. It would really mean the world to me. It's going to be a massive summer or winter, wherever you are, for games. We got Cyberpunk coming out in under 2 weeks now, and I think that's gonna overshadow a lot of these games. But let me know your favorites. Stay safe out there, everybody, and until next time, peace.